Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? This is Jeff from BKJMAC TV, and this is the BKJMAC podcast experience coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York. Tonight, we're diving deeper into this movie that I saw, which was, I'm going to say it was really funny and quite silly. It was laced with crude humor. I'm going to tell you that for sure. And this movie is Drive Away Dolls. Now, this movie was directed by Mr. Cohen and his family and his wife. Let's go into it a little bit more. Directed by Ethan Cohen and his wife. Written by his wife Tracia Cook. They also produced the film as well, and one Matt Damon is in the movie, and let's just say one of Matt Damon's body parts is one of the main elements in this movie. It's gonna really make you like scratch your head. You're gonna be wondering like really, am I really watching this movie right now? I think to me it's like if you ever watch soft porn movies on Cinemax, it's sort of like that, but mixed with a bunch of humorous events, and there's a story there. It gives off like Thelma and Louise vibes. The movie starring Margaret and Geraldine. They're well-known actresses in Hollywood, and they've come together to really drive this movie. Now, the movie hasn't made much money in the box office because I guess word of mouth hasn't been really generated enough. But I'm here to do that. I'm here to tell people that go watch the movie. It's really funny. You're gonna enjoy it. It'll make you laugh like crazy, especially over Matt Damon's particular body part that's highlighted basically throughout the whole movie. Anyway, let me get you a little bit of the plot. It's based out of Philadelphia in 1999. Basically, the movie starts off with this man named Santos. We don't know who this guy is. He just sits nervously at a bar, and he's like, what's going on? And he gets a check and he dips. Suddenly he's followed by the bartender, and something nefarious happens to him. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to see it for yourself when you watch the movie, or if you choose to watch the movie. Elsewhere in Philadelphia, mind you, this is set in 1999, so this is without social media. There's no cell phones. That's everywhere. Everybody was still using a landline at that time. So just imagine people chilling in 1999 Philly. So it was kind of wild. The movie follows Jamie and Suki, who are lovers with relationships. Let me rephrase myself. Jamie and Suki are lovers whose relationship falls apart because of Jamie's infidelity. Now, Jamie is the kind of butch woman from Texas who loves having sex. She basically enjoys having sex. So it's like she can't really stay to one person. She just needs to have sex. So in the movie, which you will see, her and Suki do something very, very wild and outlandish, and I'm like, wow, that's why I got Cinemax moment in that scene. It was like whoa. And it still wasn't enough for Jamie. Jamie had to have more. And her friend Marianne, basically, she's a bookworm. She basically just sits in her office. There's this guy that tries to talk to her and tries to ask her out, but she makes up excuses not to go out with him because little did we know, she's also into girls. She's a lesbian. So, but she doesn't tell people that, and eventually we find that out throughout the movie, and it plays a very interesting role in the movie. So pay attention to that part. Her sexuality, women's sexuality, especially this is 1999, so you gotta understand women's lesbianism is not really really accepted throughout society. There are bars that have lesbians and gays and transgenders, but it's not really widely accepted as it is now. So you'll see how it really plays a part, and them trying to find bars and places that basically cater to the LGBTQ of their characters. So they plan to go to Tallahassee, Florida, and Tallahassee, Florida is very conservative. So my understanding is, why go there? Apparently Marianne wants to go bird watching. Now that kind of tells you a lot about her character right there. She wants to go bird watching. I mean, it's an interesting thing to certain people, but generally boring to most. And Jamie decides to go along on the trip. They do this thing called a drive away. So a drive away was this service I didn't even know it existed, which I think was pretty clever by the writers, because I didn't even know this type of thing existed back then. So they were able to put that together, and basically that's how they were able to get a Dodge car to basically do an errand, but at the same time really go there for free to Tallahassee, Florida from Philadelphia. And honestly, they really could have just flown there in 1 hour or 2 hours and call it a day, but apparently, there has to be some type of drama in the movie. So as we watch the movie, there's they take the wrong car, and basically the mobsters are after that car, and they're in it, and they're basically after them. So you'll meet a host of colorful characters, and this movie has a lot of twists and turns and a lot of exploitation of sexuality. Female sexuality is very, very prominent throughout this movie. There are very intense moments of laughter. You're going to laugh when you see this movie. You're going to see things that's going to blow your mind. You may even ask yourself, why am I really watching this movie? And you realize that it's funny. You really want to see the story all the way through. Pay attention to the briefcase. The briefcase in the movie is a central element. You got to see it, because this briefcase is like... It's just like what's in the briefcase. Throughout the whole movie, I wanted to know what was in that briefcase. And when they finally opened the briefcase and I finally saw what it was, I was weak beyond imaginations. So when you see what's in that briefcase, it's gonna blow your mind. I promise you, it's going to blow your mind when they open that briefcase and you, as a viewer, is watching this movie. Now, looking at it, they go from lesbian bars, one night hookups, or parties. Well, honestly, it's basically the exploration of their sexuality, and you see it throughout the whole movie. And you see Marianne trying to unlock the web that's over her lack of sexual movement. She hadn't had sex for over 3 or 4 years, and she's basically trying to find a way to get that rhythm going again. And Jamie is basically trying to help her with that. You will see that type of bond between these two lesbians in this movie, and how it plays out in character development throughout the film, especially how it's used with the suitcase. Please pay attention to that suitcase. Overall, this movie was funny. Matt Damon makes an appearance in the movie, and it's really, really funny. Matt Damon, sometimes I don't get Matt Damon. He just puts himself in these situations, and it's pretty funny. It's really, really funny. And the mobsters that's after them trying to get this briefcase, they're funny too. One is a talker and one is a doer. And let's just say when they don't get enough sleep, something is going to happen. So please pay attention to every element of the story, because it really drives the motive and their purpose throughout through the end of the movie. So pay attention, please pay attention. Overall, this movie was funny. I recommend you should go see it. I enjoyed it. Yeah, you'll enjoy it for sure. Definitely. Thank you for listening to this episode of the BKJMAC podcast experience. Peace, love, always. One.